Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Drinks and Kicks Grind Time. As always, it's me, your boy Daniel, and we got Jay always in the passenger seat next to me. Jay, as it is. Damn, he's already down his drink. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, man.
This was a lot better than what I got last week. That
Facts.
the tea. Obviously I was a little under the weather. I sound hopefully better this time. So this coffee's definitely hitting. Guys, let's get into it this week. A few interesting topics on the docket. First of all, temperature check. How we feeling, right? Sneakers, personally, anything?
Man, it's a wonderful time to be a sneakerhead.
Yep.
We talked off camera about how the fives is sitting in stores and on sneakers, so don't be in a rush.
Yeah, at the time of recording, the University Black Fives just dropped. And as my co-host was saying, they are sitting. We kind of started talking about that. Thoughts on releases sitting. I know it's kind of one of the hot topics everybody's talking about. Sneaker culture's dead. I know we talk about that quite often, but it's nice to see certain things sitting just from a standpoint of getting for things for a little bit cheaper.
Facts. And
go ahead. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'm sorry about that. And also being selective too.
Yeah.
You don't got to be in a rush anymore. You just go out and get what you want to get.
That's an interesting notion because you have mentioned that point, and I didn't really think about it, about being selective. Do you feel like in the past you felt pressured to buy a shoe that maybe you were on the fence of just because it was going to sell out?
This sneaker that's on my foot.
Really? I'm surprised.
So,
I still need those, by the way.
When these came out, they had first dropped in like, was it London or?
Yeah, they did wherever Pata is originally from. I always get that one confused. Forgive me, fans of Pata, wherever you guys are from. I think I want to say Netherlands, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
I'll make sure I double check to keep that to memory. But yes, to your point, sorry.
And so like when they dropped, I had seen the link at like the middle of the night. I was up and it came out on Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
So I had like tapped it and they had my size and I was like, all right, let me go ahead and get them. Then they released like in the States like 3 weeks later and
they were sitting.
Yeah.
I should have been on top of it. I don't know what I was doing in the space. I honestly think I kind of let the release date kind of slip through the cracks because I remember trying to go after it afterwards and I couldn't find my size. Not to say that they weren't like selling out, but maybe like my size specifically, I just couldn't find. So to this day, I still need to grab it. I've kind of slowed down on copying stuff, but I know if I can find one for the right price, I'm definitely pulling the trigger. Kind of moving along. Anything else as it relates to the temperature check? Are we good?
Shoot, I mean, New York was going crazy as far as temperature check was.
Yes, anybody in New York going crazy. I'm sure the timeline was flooded. If you guys had spent any time online, whatever your drug of choice is, Instagram, TikTok, like I'm sure you guys saw the clips of the parade. So many crazy things. That clip that kept coming up for me was the girls that fighting, the one girl climbing down the pole and she was like twerking and she threw that girl off of the whatever she was sitting on, the other little light post or whatever thing she was trying to climb down, and threw that white lady off, and then they started freaking fighting after that. That shit was hilarious.
She hit her with the a wrestling move.
Yeah, dropped her ass off the top rope. That shit was crazy. All over the timeline from like 35 different angles. But yeah, hopefully everyone's safe out there in New York. Bless up. Knicks, again, you're 2025-26 NBA champions. Shout out to you. Definitely giving me excuse to wear some of that Kith Knicks stuff that I have sitting in the closet. Other interesting thing as it relates to that, the Air Force One and the Nick 3s that they put on pre-order. What are your thoughts?
The Nick 3 on pre-order, I really just I think it just opened up like a new like hole in the sneaker community.
Yeah. We were talking about that a little through like in our group chat and stuff. Like interesting the decision to do that. I think it's a good idea personally. I don't know how much, again, let me figure out the best tactile way to say this. Like I think it's a good thing because from a standpoint of like the optics, if they put it on pre-order, they don't have the shoe sitting and potentially like going on sale cheaper and cheaper, which may be counter to what we were just talking about. But from the optic standpoint of people saying like the market's dead or like not giving certain shoes the respect, so to speak, because if it like sits there and people are constantly seeing it on sale, they'd be like, oh, that shoe's trash.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing for that, because if you do a pre-order, there's no way it's going to sit on shelves and there's no way it's going to continue going on sale. But it also allows people the chance, if you really want it, to get it. Like everyone's always complaining about raffles and not knowing where to get stuff, and which may sound weird to some of us that have like been doing this for a long time. But trust me, guys, I work in a resale shop. I hear it almost every day. But yeah, so I think it's a good chance for that, to allow whoever people who want to get it the ability to get it. If you don't mind waiting, because that's the only aspect. It's did you see the timeline?
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months window, which creates a pretty interesting kind of dilemma there. Is like, are you comfortable waiting 6 months? You personally, you comfortable waiting 6 months?
I mean, take the form. Hat Club has done this before.
Yep.
When they have dropped hats and stuff, and I think it was like the campfires that came out in like 2022, and it was probably like a 6 months wait for those. But when it finally came in, I felt more comfortable having a hat that what I'm saying, I really truly wanted than paying the resale market when hats was going crazy at like $300 a hat.
Did it change your perspective when you got it in hand? Like, did you like it any less because you waited so long?
No, I wanted it even more because I had to wait for it, and it felt even more special because it was just like, all right, I put this order in 6 months ago. They sat down with New Era or whoever their accounts are, and they, got it to my front door. And so, like, one thing that I can see Nike doing with this as well too, how they're like recently they took a lot of their stock away from Foot Locker and places like that, is getting into that direct to consumer market where people can get their shoes on demand as long as they're willing to wait that 6 months. So
yeah, I think to that point too of like wanting it even more. Anybody who's ordered the most notorious one I can think of is Cactus Jack and Travis. Like for the longest time, his website was like you were ordering stuff. I remember back in like the Fortnite drop. I don't know if it's still the same, because to be honest, I haven't bought anything off of the Travis thing, because if I ain't getting the shoe, I ain't buying any of the merch. But like they had that process where you would order something, and I don't know how many people were paying attention to the bottom, but it tells you that you're not going to get the product for a while. Hidden NY is another brand that I wear often and that I shop with. It's kind of the same thing. They operate on that like model of the pre-order. Their window is usually like a weekend, and then you buy up the product and it'll ship out in like about 4 to 6 weeks. So other brands do and have implemented this process. It's just interesting to see Nike, and it's not the first time they did it either. I think the first shoe technically was that Kobe 3 they did, the whitish blue one.
I think so, and they also did it with like the Donkey Kong like digital ones, and then I think it was another one where it was like a block Air Max 1.
Okay.
And so it took a little bit of time, but people got their pairs with it though.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, right? If you're truly a fan of the shoe, I don't see why you wouldn't mind waiting. It's just if you're hoping to resell that, I'm sure those are the people that upset. But I think thankfully what we've seen is people who were in the sneakers just because of the resale has slowly started shifting off, drifting into other things. I know they're kind of making all the Pokemon card and basketball card people upset by moving over to that lane. So hopefully that is kind of like freed up. And if you really want the shoe, like shouldn't mind doing the pre-order. To that same notion, kind of want to switch it a little bit. Another shoe that was on the pre-order was that Air Force One back in the 01 shape. It's kind of more of a slim down like toe box. But it brought up that other kind of point that I've seen floating around, our Air Force One Unk shoes.
With them going back to that 01 shape, I think so. I was talking to one of my homies offline today, right? And I was like, yo, how do you feel with it? Just so I can get some, conversation for us and stuff. So he was like, yo, that chop top is not it, because we've grown and being so used to the 07 for, since 07. Yeah. So unless they come out with some of the colorways, like I remember they had a Negro Lead Air Force One 01 back in the day. My pops had it, and the quality materials was like crazy.
Yep.
And so if they bring back that type of production, it might can work, but right now, that's not looking good.
What do you think about? Is it classified as an Unk shoe now?
Nah, man. A pair of G Fazos, Uptowns, that's gonna be classic to the day that we, send in the rest homes and stuff. But nah, never.
That's a funny thing. I mean, no secret, I'm a little bit up there. Don't let. I mean, this used to be something that was kind of a counterpoint, but I think my hair's starting to match my age now. But getting to that, I've never quite like thought about how big of an Air Force One person I was, because I was never like the all white Air Force One person. I honestly did not own a pair of all whites till probably like 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. But when I looked back at my collection and I slowly started like organizing certain things and putting all the shoe boxes of a specific model together, realizing like how many pairs of Air Force Ones I owned. It was probably like 15 or 16. And I was like, damn, am I an Air Force One guy? Like, did I not know it this whole time? But yeah, like never owning the white on whites till like 5 years ago, but having a bunch of other colorways of Air Force Ones. So I mean, I'll embrace it if y'all want to call it an unk shoe. All these freaking TikTok Gen Z kids, whatever. I'll embrace the title, but I mean, Jay seems to think differently. It's gonna be a white on white till we die. So
you feel me?
yeah. Moving on, a couple of other interesting things we wanted to talk about this week. The SGA shift to Nike. So it came out that he was switching from Converse, which Nike also owns, to join the Nike team officially, and all the branding and everything's going to switch over to all his signature models now being Nike. What are your thoughts?
It's lit. We just had that conversation last week.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where Shea is probably one of the top 5 NBA players in the league right now. And he deserves to be on a major brand. But also, what I've been thinking about too, though, is Nike just unlocked another loophole in a way.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where they can bring their junior athletes up through their smaller brands like Converse, or they own Quicksilver and stuff like that too, I think.
I know they used to own Hurley. I don't know if they still do. I know they used to own Kohan, but they sold that off probably like 6 or 7 years ago.
Okay. And so like if they bring their junior athletes up through Converse and you do good enough, your incentive is to get on Nike, get a pro shoe, and be the man.
Essentially the sneaker G League.
That's tough, right?
That's not a bad idea. I didn't look at it from that perspective. I don't think that's a bad idea to have it as kind of a proving ground. I kind of had slightly different thoughts based on him like jumping ship. My standpoint comes from like when you were on Converse, you were arguably like a big fish in a small pond, but you were the only one in that pond, right? Like you had the full force of the company behind you. Granted, it was a smaller company, and I mean, I don't think too many people can name any shoes outside of a Chuck Taylor from a Converse right now. But still, like having the full force of a company behind you, I think they could have did some cool things. But now when he like makes the jump to Nike, and to call the current MVP a small fish, but you're essentially one of many. Like now you're one signature athlete out of 10. I think that we kind of narrowed down the other day. So like now you're one of 10. Granted, you are the current MVP, and you do have some of the older athletes like the KDs and the LeBrons like sunsetting their careers. So maybe it's a positioning for them to fall out or them to end those lines and then bring up Shea's. But I don't know. It's just I personally would have stayed at Converse or maybe a little bit longer, but I don't know what Nike's thinking. Like they probably have some tricks up their sleeve because they are Nike. Maybe I thought it was more from a marketing standpoint of having a bigger marketing team that they can push behind him. But again, I feel like it's just kind of going to get lost in the sauce because where's the Giannis marketing stuff outside of them just releasing the colorways? Have you seen too many advertisements or commercials or anything around Jaws line?
No, that's where they messing up at, because you got these athletes that's like great in their respective markets, and we in a day and age where you can just go to the internet and really get the people to be around it. Like think about Kobe's old marketing, but they don't got that no more.
Yeah, I still say something all the time from the old Kobe system, Kobe 7 commercials. My girl said something, it was like yesterday, and I said that line. I was like, from the Kanye commercials, like, what the fuck does that mean, Kobe Bryant? What is he talking about? Like that whole line, like the commercials. And I think The one company I would say is doing a good job is definitely Adidas with AE.
They're keeping it really authentic to who he is, and by him being from the South, and he get to really show off like his dialect and how he talk,
Yeah.
and he ain't got to compress it down for no corporate BS.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to the Ant for that, man. That's tough, dog.
Even it's good to see KD getting some shine recently with the whole him and Drake commercials. The first one I thought was a little silly, like the Yes Man commercial. But did you see the one recently where he ships him the shoe?
And Drake's is like, who's wanting to buy shoes in Minnesota?
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Like keeping it going and now creating a little bit of back and forth. Because they have been taking shots, even with like the post, like when a team was getting knocked out of the playoffs, one of the competing companies would make like a post or something. Like they did the Wemby alien post, like when they made it to the finals, talking crap about Ant and stuff. So they're kind of taking shots back and forth. But yeah, I mean, with that move, he'll have the full Nike marketing team behind it. And I think with him being more young and connecting to the people, hopefully they'll make some interesting content. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell how this plays out. Only other thing we have to talk about, well, I shouldn't have said that, my bad. The next thing we wanted to talk about was actually in the realm of signature athletes and shoes. Caitlin Clark, signature shoe debut. What do you think?
I've been doing a lot of research on that shoe, like since it came out earlier this week.
Yeah.
And so first thing that caught my eye was the shape of the shoe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Caitlin Clark is known to have been like rocking Kobe's and stuff like that. And you can still see that heritage that flows into her shoe.
Yeah. And
then like when you think about women signature athletes that was on Nike lines, from Cheryl Swoops, you know what I'm saying, to different other women as well too that did their thing. It kind of carries that legacy when you look at like the side panel of it, and it's like the speaker shaped white lines that's going out.
Mm-hmm.
It's keeping that legacy alive. And so I'm liking it. And I seen that Travis also kind of stepped his foot in one of them.
Yeah, I think it was a black pair, if I'm mistaken. Yeah.
And it looks sick. The bottom of it, how it has like the icy bottom translucent like fade. I'm here for it, man.
Yeah. One thing I can't comment on because I'm not much of a hooper is how it's going to perform. We had talked about it, and we'll get into it a little bit when we talk about the Giannis shoe. But the design of it, they're all kind of using this drop-in like insole model now, as opposed to having like a traditional midsole that the shoe and your foot sits on top of. So I thought that was kind of interesting. My biggest thing when I look at it though is just like, what are they going to do with colorways? Because I think it's kind of similar to the KD. With the way the shoe's constructed, is it seems like they're really gonna mainly do like solid colorways.
So I know Devontae's off camera, y'all can't see him right now, but what I'm gonna need you to do when you're editing this video is go back through and like put the pictures in. I'm gonna send you some of the pictures, but for that Caitlin Clark shoe, it was a Grinch colorway that was like sick.
Really?
Man, yo, it's bright. The heritage is there.
Yeah.
So throw them clips in there so people can see what them colorways look like, because the shoe has potential.
Yeah, they've done some interesting stuff with the upper. It's kind of like a 2.0 of the Kobe 6 with like that scale type material.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a polyurethane layered on top, and it has these, which are like little C's that are stylized, but it kind of looks like a second skin, so to speak. But if you're familiar with Kobe 6, very similar to that kind of makeup where there's a material on top, and it kind of looks like a snake skin almost.
Yep.
So definitely kind of evolving and taking from the Kobe line. But again, my thing is just with colorways. Like I want to see some more colorways before I truly like make a solid opinion, because that's kind of been my issue with not only the KD 19, but like the book 2. I kind of feel like the same thing. It's most of the colorways have been like solid colors. So I don't know. I think it's interesting and a good to finally see her shoe after it's been teased for so long and everyone's kept saying, "Where's the Caitlin? Where's the Caitlin?" So I'm happy that we finally get to see it. I'll still restrain my full feelings until I see more colorways. We'll put it at that. But that's a good segue into the Giannis shoe. In the group chat, that pic came out that they posted of him working out in it. He was at shoot around or practice or something, and he had that like marble looking colorway. What do you think about that one?
Giannis is my favorite player, man. And That sneaker, I'm just not big on it just because it's like it looks like every other sneaker that's on Nike's line
Mhm.
as far as like being a performance sneaker and stuff. And we come from an era where basketball sneakers were like the norm, but it's kind of like shifted, like we talked off camera, where it's like a running shoe market. And so I just think Giannis just needs a shoe that's signifies with him his roots and everything like that, and not something just from a a Nike production line. And to like expand on that a little bit more is like when I think about Jordan and stuff from back in the day, right? He told Nike like, "Hey, look, I'm not unless you come out with a shoe that's better than this Jordan 2, I don't want to play this game no more."
Yeah, I'm trying to switch over to the Adidas. Those who don't know their history, go back and do your history on that one.
Facts. So man, it's just give my boy something better, yo. He deserved better.
Yeah, I think it's kind of been a bit of a low period for some of his shoes. Like, I feel like it kind of started out nice with this first signature, and then it kind of dropped off. The more recent one before the new one, I didn't feel like it was that bad. I remember looking at it. It kind of had the big O swoosh, which is something that his shoe has always had, that kind of signature, and a lot of them were backwards also. But it also had a big prominent swoosh on most of his shoes. But this one, it has the swoosh, and then it had like a bunch of layers of it kind of like repeating off of it, which I thought was a cool little design element. But yeah, I definitely feel like for him being as big of a name that he is in the league, that he deserves like better shoes. My issue comes with when you look at the design of it, is it kind of has that recent LeBron kind of look, how they molded that like crown on the side, and it kind of was like a counter, which was a performance feature. It kind of had a counter, so if you were like jabbing and sliding and stuff, that you wouldn't topple over the shoe. They kind of have that big prominent thing on the side of the new Giannis, and that was my whole like issue, was it looking very similar to like other shoes in the Nike portfolio. So I don't know. Again, I mean, similar to like the Caitlin, I want to see some other colorways. I think the only one they showed so far is that like marble one, which is supposed to hit back to the fact that he's like Greek and like statues and stuff. But yeah, any other last words on that before I move on?
Nike do better as far as basketball shoes, man, and give like the people what we want. We want fashion back in basketball.
Yeah. I definitely some variety in like the style. I mean, there is some, but to me, everything seems like a variation of a Kobe.
Yeah.
Last thing before we move on and kind of wrap it up, talk about World Cup. If you guys haven't been watching any games, I know personally I have. Have you watched any of the games?
I've been in like, so you know, on the side with like the clothing business and everything, I just kind of been gunning at that right now.
Yeah.
And so like I try to just get on Instagram to peep what they're wearing and stuff, just because, you know, places like that is where you see the debut of new Nike products and Adidas and all the brands and stuff. So not really too much, but go USA.
Yeah, I've been catching some of the games. We've been watching them at work, putting it on the iPad and kind of the background. But yeah, they've definitely, it's kind of capturing the world as it always does when it comes around. So if in the fact that we're in like the host countries or the host nation, because it is not only US, it's Canada and Mexico too. But yeah, a lot of the stuff that some of the brands have been showing out with, some of the different kits, that's jerseys for those Westerners like ourselves. The jerseys and the kits and stuff that they've been wearing have been pretty dope. I know that they've been wearing alternate ones. I know Mexico was wearing a black one in the last game, and theirs are traditionally the all green kind of color joints. But yeah, any of your thoughts on any of the kits, any of the stuff you've been seeing online?
Mexico is like the toughest one so far, with like the Aztec print on the front.
That was pretty dope.
And then like Brazil, every time I see Brazil's kits, man, it kind of like takes me back to like when Pharrell had wore in like the women all across the world, that video. So, and Germany looked good, and Argentina probably has the best kit though. I mean,
yeah, I was seeing a video actually earlier today. Somebody was walking around showing all the USA ones. I'm not the biggest fan. There's one of them that has like this washed like blue color. I don't know if it's supposed to look like denim, but it looks like a weird like denim wash, like almost an acid wash denim. That one is trash. I don't know what people are saying. The other ones that they were actually wearing in the game, When they were playing the other day, I forget who the heck they were playing. But either way, we won. But the ones that they were wearing that have more of the flag, I think those ones are dope. It's like the wave of the flag on the bottom, and it's kind of like an all over. It's predominantly white though, but it has like the red and white stripes on it. That one's dope. But that one that looks like acid wash denim is trash.
Nike x Levi's collab.
Yeah, it's terrible. Do better, Nike. But yeah, man. Again, perfect opportunity for brands to kind of show out and do different collabs. I know we had mentioned it kind of last time, but they showed some more of the Travis collabs. You were looking at them before we started recording, of some of the different things that they've done. They showed the Mexico, the U.S., Argentina, I think was another one that we saw on there. Some of those have been pretty cool too. Kind of a slight more fashion alternative to the like on-field stuff. But yeah, either way, like they're doing a bunch of dope stuff for the World Cup right now.
You know what'd be crazy?
What?
I know you seen the Kid Super Babes collabs
Yeah,
that
yeah.
he's doing and stuff. If you take the Mexico Kid Supers and throw the Travis Scott like jersey up there, crazy fit, y'all.
Cooking
For the
something up, I see.
fashionistas and the fashion guys, yo, look, cop them.
The one thing I will say, you just reminded me, we didn't get to talk about it last week, but the Kid Super thing. Did you see any of the stuff around the release?
I love it.
Did you see the order? Somebody posted, because I think those were also like a pre-order type situation where they weren't shipping them out. Like there was a certain duration time before you would actually get the shoe. But somebody showed the checkout screen. They had the audacity to ask for a tip on the checkout screen. They were placing their order, and there was a little thing that said, you like to support the Kid Super brand or something like that. And you had the option to leave a tip. Y'all are smoking.
Tax write-off, man.
Everybody's asking for, I thought we were over this tip culture stuff. You have the audacity for a $300 sneaker on an order to ask for a tip for what?
And don't forget that the wait time for those is about 6 months. So
yeah, what the hell? Kid Super, explain yourself. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the news topics we have. Now let's go over to what's coming out this week in the release roundup.
You just made the list!
All right, guys, coming up in the next week, which until I was doing these releases, didn't realize we're already at the end of the month. God, I thought we was like the 14th. It's like the 20-something. Anyways, guys, coming out in the next upcoming week on the 25th, we have the Vans Old School 36 Souvenirs, which had the last, I think, 3 or 4 colorways have been doing crazy. Vans, again, having a moment. But they're going back to that souvenir one that's kind of based on the, was it a Chanel bag? I think it was the Chanel bag. But they're releasing an asphalt colorway, which is coming out on the 25th. I know you like those. You had a chance to check those out.
Yeah, I'm really feeling those. Vans is snapping right now with like the crystals and this type of vibe. So those is on the keep for the toe.
You heard them. Coming up on the 26th, the Kobe 4 Protro, the draft pack. That's kind of the mystery one where it's one of 14. So it's going to be every single, or is it one of 13? I don't know if they're counting the Lakers one as it's the yellow one specifically. If it's going to be, if there is like a white and yellow one, or if it's just that one. Anyways, that mystery pack coming out on the 26th. What are your thoughts?
Keep those for the Hoopers, man.
For the Hoopers?
For the Hoopers.
There it is. The one thing I learned about those, though, I thought it was a little bit plain that the shoes were just white with like the colored stitching around the swoosh. Apparently, the white rubs away, and they're all different color makeups for the actual team.
That's tough.
So I want to see what the undercolors look like, because when it was kind of white and subtle, I was like, but I want to see what the makeup is going to be like underneath for all those different teams that passed on them. But again, should be an interesting thing. I always love when they do unusual releases like that. It should be pretty cool. So if you like Kobe's, make sure you keep an eye out on the 26th for that one. Also on the 26th, I had to add this one because I didn't realize it was coming out, but the Book 2 Just Book.
Nasty.
Yeah, that's that blue Just Dawn kind of collab that's based on that Jordan 2, also a Chanel bag. Again, I said it earlier in the show, wasn't a fan of the book because of a colorway situation, like the solid colors. For whatever reason, though, I know the reason, but I'm a big fan of that Just Dawn. It's one of my favorite like Jordans. But yeah, I think I actually might cop that shoe.
Hey, we going to Undefeated. You want to go to Undefeated today? Those come out.
Is that Tuesday?
If it is on a Tuesday, I'm off work that day, so that'll be tough.
We'll double check the schedule and let you know.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm gonna try to get that one for sure. I didn't think I was gonna own a book 2 just because I wasn't a big fan, but after seeing that shoe, we got a thumbs down from the side over here. Devontae not feeling the shoe, but I'm gonna cop those. Anybody who's in AZ, I know y'all are big book fans. I know that one's gonna be hard to get in the city, but we're gonna try anyway. So just again, the 26th. Moving along. On the 27th, we got the Adidas Bape Adi Zero Evo SL. So that's that popular Adidas running shoe that a lot of people have been wearing, but this is going to be a collab with Bape. The shoes are going to be different colors. One of them's green, one of them's blue. Thoughts on that one?
For the runners.
For the runners.
Marathon runners, go get them.
Yeah. If you like Bape, if you're like comfy shoes, if you're a runner, that should be a good one to try to add to the collection. I think for the average, I don't know if we're going to go out for that. Another one coming out on the 1st of July. I was surprised to see this in the lineup when I was looking on the calendar. Adidas is bringing back the Kobe 2, which they call the Crazy 2 now, in USA colorway. I don't know if you had a chance. Have you seen that one?
I didn't get the chance to look at that one. Is it similar to the Crazy 8?
Yeah, it's similar. It's essentially the Kobe 2 model. So continue that lineage of when he was with Adidas. The ones that kind of were based on the Audi TT, the space looking ones. Yeah.
Okay, those in the USA colorway, I'm gonna have to check those out a little bit more. I really wasn't paying a lot of attention to them, but
it looks like they airbrushed a flag on it.
Hold on, let's bring these up.
Yeah, give me a second to pull that one up so you can see it.
Adidas.
I didn't even know they were bringing these back, to be honest with you. And when I saw it on the calendar, I was baffled. I'm not going to get it. I just feel like it was an interesting shoe to bring back, to be honest.
Drop tops. Ooh, hey, if you feeling hella American and you want something fly to wear next year for the Olympics, put those Crazy 2s on your feet. Those is tough.
I feel like that's a New York thing, like Puerto Rican Day Parade ass shoe, like for
Facts.
real. So yeah, I don't know. If you feeling that one, go out and get it. Personally, not gonna cop, but I could definitely see some people pulling out some crazy fits for that. And then the last shoe we have is another one coming out on July 1st. KD19, the bubblegum bounce. That's the all pink one, which could have been the Aunt Pearl we were talking about. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna call those the Robitussin 19s.
The Pepto 19s.
Pepto Bismos.
Yeah, so if you're a big fan of that new KD shoe, make sure you check that out. The all pink pair is coming out July 1st. So that's going to be it, guys, for the show this week. As always, we appreciate you guys checking out with us. It's going to be a cheers. Till next time, guys.